It's busy in the AWS Cloud. Together, let's keep up with the latest and greatest from AWS. Let's get into it. AWS Cloud Map now supports AWS Cloud Trail data events. AWS Cloud Map now supports AWS Cloud Trail data events for Discover Instances and Discover Instances Revision APIs. With Cloud Trail integration for these AWS Cloud Map APIs, customers can now get a history of APIs calls made for cloud resource discovery. This can help customers enhance governance, compliance, and risk auditing capabilities for the workloads running with AWS Cloud Map. Amazon EC2 M6 and M6 instances are now available in US West and California. Starting today, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud M6 and M6 instances are available in AWS region US West. These 6th-generation network-optimized instances, powered by 3rd-generation Intel Xeon scalable processors and built on the AWS Nitro system, deliver up to 200 gigabits per second network bandwidth, 2x more network bandwidth and up to 2x higher packet processing performance over comparable 5th-generation instances. Customers can use M6 and M6 instances to scale the performance and throughput of network-intensive workloads such as high-performance file systems, distributed web scale in-memory caches, caching fleets, real-time big data analytics, and telco applications such as 5G user plane function. AWS IoT Device Management adds support for indexing and querying device location. AWS IoT Device Management expands the capability of fleet indexing to support indexing and querying an IoT device's last reported location. AWS IoT Device Management is a fully managed cloud service that you can use to remotely monitor and manage your IoT devices at scale. With the fleet indexing feature, you can easily query and group devices based on any combination of device attribute, state, and connectivity data stored across various AWS IoT data sources. With this update, you can use geoqueries to narrow your search and retrieve devices in desired geographic boundaries for more targeted insights, such as detecting location-specific device connectivity issues. These insights can then further enable you to take targeted device management actions. Amazon SNS launches additional message filtering operators, including suffix and case-insensitive matching. Amazon Simple Notification Service now supports additional message filtering capabilities, including the ability to match against characters at the end of a value, to ignore case sensitivity, and to have a single filter match if any conditions across multiple separate message properties are true. You can leverage these new filtering operators to further simplify your messaging architecture by offloading additional message filtering logic from subscribers, as well as message routing logic from publishers. Amazon Braket now supports parametric circuits to speed up variational algorithms. Amazon Braket, the quantum computing service from AWS, adds support for parametric circuits on superconducting, gate-based quantum processing units, enabling up to 10x faster runtime performance for quantum classical algorithms using Amazon Braket hybrid jobs. Amazon Neptune is now available in AWS Israel, Tel Aviv, region. Amazon Neptune is now available in the AWS Israel region on engine versions 1.1.0.0 and later. You can now create Neptune clusters using R5 and T3 instance types in the AWS Israel region. New organization-wide IAM condition keys to restrict AWS service-to-service requests. Today, AWS Identity and Access Management launched 2 new global condition keys for IAM policies that enable you to scalably allow AWS services to access your resources only on your behalf. With this new IAM capability, you can simplify management of your resource-based policies to require that AWS services access your resources only when the request originates from your organization or organizational unit in AWS organizations. AWS Cost Explorer now provides more historical and granular data. Starting today, we are extending the history and improving the granularity of data available in AWS Cost Explorer. AWS Cost Explorer by default now supports 14 months of cost and usage data at daily granularity, up from 13 months. In addition, customers have the option to enable up to 38 months of history at a monthly granularity, and they have the option to enable 14 days of resource-level data for any AWS service at daily granularity. Each of these features is offered for free. AWS Lambda now supports failed event destinations for Kafka event source mappings. AWS Lambda now supports failed event destinations for Amazon Managed Streaming for Apache Kafka and self-managed Apache Kafka event source mappings. Failed event destinations enable your Lambda function to continue processing events on a topic even when it returns an error. AWS IAM Identity Center enhances the multi-factor authentication, MFA, defaults for new IAM Identity Center instances. Starting today, all new AWS IAM Identity Center instances will have multi-factor authentication enabled by default. Enabling MFA is a security best practice we recommend, and is one of the simplest and most effective mechanisms to help you secure your user accounts. Amazon Transcribe now supports automatic language identification for multilingual real-time audio streams. Amazon Transcribe is an automatic speech recognition service that makes it easy for you to add speech-to-text capabilities to your applications. Today, we are excited to announce automatic language identification support for multilingual streams. If you operate in a country with multiple official languages or across multiple regions, your audio streams can contain different languages and switch between languages. For such use cases, you can enable multi-language identification, which identifies all languages spoken in your stream and creates transcript using each identified language. This means that if speakers change languages mid-conversation, or if each participant is speaking a different language, your transcription output detects and transcribes each language correctly. Amazon EC2 C6 in instances are now available in US West and California. Starting today, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud C6 in instances are available in AWS region US West. These 6th-generation network-optimized instances, powered by 3rd-generation Intel Xeon scalable processors and built on the AWS Nitro system, deliver up to 200 gigabits per second network bandwidth, 2x more network bandwidth and up to 2x higher packet processing performance over comparable 5th-generation instances. AWS Lambda introduces new controls to make it easier to search, filter, and aggregate Lambda function logs. AWS Lambda announces advanced logging controls that enable you to natively capture logs in JSON structured format, adjust log levels, and select the Amazon CloudWatch log group for your Lambda functions. Announcing expanded support for Amazon GameLift plugin for Unity. We are excited to announce that Amazon GameLift plugin for Unity now supports the latest versions of Unity long-term support and Amazon GameLift Server SDK. Amazon GameLift is a fully managed service that allows developers to quickly manage and scale dedicated game servers for multiplayer games. With this release, Amazon GameLift plugin for Unity now supports 2021.3 LTS and 2022.3 LTS for Windows and Mac OS. New Amazon CloudWatch metric monitors EBS volume I/O health. Today, Amazon announced the availability of a new CloudWatch metric called EBS Stalled I/O Check to monitor the health of your AWS EBS volumes. You can use this CloudWatch metric to monitor the status of the I/O being driven on your EBS volume to determine when your volumes are impaired. With this new volume level metric, you can now quickly detect and respond to EBS impairments that may potentially be impacting the performance of your applications. The metric will return a 0 or a 1 status based on if the EBS volume is processing requested I/O operations. With Amazon CloudWatch, you can use the new metric to create customized dashboards and set alarms that notify you or automatically perform actions based on the metric. Amazon Time Sync Service now supports microsecond accurate time. The Amazon Time Sync Service now gives you a way to synchronize time within microseconds of UTC on Amazon EC2 instances. Amazon RDS for MySQL now supports upgrading MySQL 5.7 snapshots to MySQL 8.0. Amazon Relational Database Service now offers the option to upgrade your MySQL 5.7 snapshots to MySQL 8.0 using the RDS console and the Modify DB Snapshot API or CLI command. Amazon EC2 R6 instances now available in additional regions. Starting today, the memory-optimized Amazon EC2 R6 instances are now available in Asia-Pacific and Asia-Pacific regions. R6 instances are powered by 3rd-generation AMD EPYC processors and deliver up to 35% better price performance than comparable R5 instances. These instances offer 10% lower cost than comparable x86-based EC2 instances. Amazon FSx for Lustre now enables you to adjust the throughput tier of your file systems. Amazon FSx for Lustre, a service that provides cost-effective, high-performance, scalable file storage for compute workloads, now supports throughput scaling. This capability enables you to adjust the throughput tier of your file systems to meet changing performance requirements with greater agility and lower cost. VPCs and subnets now support more sizes for IPv6 headers. Amazon VPC allows customers to create VPCs and subnets of different sizes using IPv6 headers. With this capability, customers can now create VPCs in sizes between /44 and /60, and subnets in sizes between /44 and /64, in increments of /4. Before today, AWS supported one standard IPv6 CIDR block size of /56 for VPC and /64 for subnet, whereas IPv4 CIDR block size were flexible for both VPCs and subnets. Amazon FSx for OpenZFS expands availability in the U.S. West, California, and Canada, Central, regions. Customers can now create Amazon FSx for OpenZFS file systems in the U.S. West region. Customers can also now create multi-AZ file systems in the Canada region. Amazon MSK adds support for Apache Kafka version 3.6.0 with tiered storage. Amazon Managed Streaming for Apache Kafka now supports an enhanced version of Apache Kafka 3.6.0 that offers generally available tiered storage. Apache Kafka's version 3.6.0 includes several bug fixes and new features, including early access for tiered storage. This enhanced version supports production-ready tiered storage, similar to previously launched Amazon MSK version 2.8.2, so customers can use it for mission-critical workloads. Tiered storage makes storage management of your MSK provisioned clusters easier by offering an elastically scalable and virtually unlimited remote storage tier in addition to the high-performance local storage tier. It also makes it more cost-effective to store data for longer durations in Apache Kafka clusters. Learn more about tiered storage in Amazon MSK Developer Guide. Amazon SQS announces support for logging data events in AWS Cloud Trail. Today, Amazon Simple Queue Service announces support for logging data event SQS APIs using AWS Cloud Trail, enabling customers to have greater visibility into SQS activity in their AWS account for best practices in security and operational troubleshooting. Amazon SQS is a fully managed message queuing service that enables you to decouple and scale microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. AWS Systems Manager publishes status updates for operational issues, change requests to Amazon EventBridge. AWS Systems Manager now publishes status updates for operational issues and change requests to Amazon EventBridge. This enables customers to leverage Amazon EventBridge to respond to operational issues and change requests in real time. With this integration, customers can now listen for changes in operational issues or change requests and trigger workflows in real time, such as calling a Lambda function or sending notification to Slack and PagerDuty. AWS Managed Microsoft AD adds support for One Identity Active Roles. Today, we're announcing AWS Directory Service for Microsoft Active Directory adds support for One Identity Active Roles. Active Roles enables customers to synchronize identities between AWS Managed Microsoft AD and self-managed Active Directories, HR systems, and modern identity management systems, such as OneLogin, Entra ID, Okta, Ping, Google Identity and other SCIM identity providers. In addition, Active Roles provides enhanced auditing capabilities and governance controls, dynamic delegation models, least privilege access management, automated provisioning, and workflow-based approval systems, layered on top of your identity services to enhance your overall management experience. AWS AppSync introduces new metrics for monitoring of real-time GraphQL subscriptions. AWS AppSync is a fully managed service that enables developers to build digital experiences based on real-time data. With AppSync, you can configure data sources to push and publish real-time data updates to subscribed clients. AppSync handles connection management, scalability, fan-out, and broadcasting, allowing you to focus on your application business needs instead of managing complex infrastructure. Announcing Party Rock, an Amazon Bedrock playground. Today, AWS announced Party Rock, an Amazon Bedrock playground. Party Rock is a fun and intuitive hands-on, generative AI app building playground. In just a few steps, you can create a variety of apps to experiment with generative AI. For example, you could build an app to generate dad jokes on a chosen topic, create the perfect personalized playlist, recommend what to serve based on ingredients in your pantry, analyze and optimize your party budget, or create an AI storyteller to guide your next fantasy role-playing campaign. By building and playing with Party Rock apps, you'll learn the techniques and capabilities needed to take full advantage of generative AI, including experimenting with various foundation models, building intuition with text-based prompting, and chaining prompts together. PartyRock is powered by Amazon Bedrock, a fully managed service that makes foundation models from Amazon and leading AI companies available through an API. Amazon IVS now supports server-side composition. With server-side composition in Amazon Interactive Video Service, you can combine audio and video from stage participants into a composited view. This composited view can then be broadcast to an Amazon IVS channel or stored in Amazon Simple Storage Service for video on-demand viewing. AWS Backup launches new console experience with Jobs Dashboard. Today, AWS Backup announces a new Jobs Dashboard console experience, simplifying backup health monitoring at scale with a new visual user interface and aggregated backup, copy, and restore metrics for services supported by AWS Backup. AWS Amplify Hosting now supports wildcard subdomains. AWS Amplify Hosting is excited to announce the general availability of wildcard subdomains when using a custom domain with your Amplify application. This new capability is available for any application deployed to AWS Amplify Hosting using a custom domain including static applications, single-page applications, and full-stack server-side rendering applications using Next.js. Amazon FSx for OpenZFS provides additional performance metrics and an enhanced monitoring dashboard. Amazon FSx for OpenZFS now provides additional performance metrics for improved visibility into file system activity and an enhanced monitoring dashboard with performance insights and recommendations. You can use the new Amazon CloudWatch metrics and dashboard to right-size your file systems and optimize performance and costs. Amazon EC2 C7GN instances are now available in AWS Asia Pacific, Tokyo, region. Starting today, AWS Graviton 3E-based Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud C7GN instances are available in AWS Asia Pacific. Amazon EC2 C7GN instances feature the new 5th-generation AWS Nitro cards and deliver the highest network bandwidth, the best packet processing performance, and the best price performance for network-intensive workloads. C7GN instances offer up to 200 gigabits per second network bandwidth and up to 3x higher packet processing performance per vCPU versus comparable current generation x86-based network-optimized instances. Take advantage of the enhanced networking capabilities to scale performance and throughput while optimizing the cost of running network-intensive workloads. Workload examples include network virtual appliances, data analytics, and CPU-based artificial intelligence and machine learning inference. Announcing Policy Assistant for AWS Verified Access. Today, AWS announces the launch of Policy Assistant for AWS Verified Access, which makes it easier to express, troubleshoot, and simulate application access policies. Verified Access enables you to provide VPN-less secure access to corporate applications using zero-trust principles. Using Policy Assistant, you can accelerate the validation, troubleshooting, and authoring of your application access policies. Amazon RDS Multi-AZ with 2 readable standbys now supports minor version upgrades with 1 second of downtime. Amazon Relational Database Service Multi-AZ deployments with 2 readable standbys now supports minor version upgrades and system maintenance updates with typically less than 1 second of downtime when using Amazon RDS Proxy. This capability allows you to take advantage of the most recent performance improvements, bug fixes, and any new security fixes or patches from the latest minor versions of PostgreSQL and MySQL with minimal interruption to your application. Amazon Elastic Block Store announces default policies to backup EC2 instances and EBS volumes. Customers can now use default policies to backup all EC2 instances and EBS volumes in their account with a single API call via Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager. Default policies work in conjunction with customers' existing backup mechanisms to only create EBS-backed AMIs and EBS snapshots of instances and volumes with no recent backups. This helps ensure customers have comprehensive backup protection without creating duplicate backups or increasing management overhead and cost. AWS now offers long-form engine with the first 3 expressive American English voices. Today, we are excited to announce the general availability of the highly expressive long-form engine with the first 3 American English Amazon Poly voices available to our customers in the US. Amazon MSK now sends storage capacity alerts. Amazon MSK now automatically sends you alerts when you are at risk of exhausting your storage capacity. The alerts also provide recommendations on the best steps to take to manage your storage. This feature makes it easier for you to identify and quickly resolve storage capacity issues before they become critical. Amazon MSK automatically sends these alerts to the Amazon MSK console, AWS Health Dashboard, Amazon EventBridge, and email contacts for your AWS account. You can also configure Amazon EventBridge to deliver these alerts via Slack or to tools such as New Relic and Datadog. Microservice Extractor simplifies porting of large .NET applications to Linux. Microservice Extractor now helps customers to port Windows-dependent, .NET Framework-based applications to cross-platform .NET to run on Linux operating systems. With this integrated porting capability, developers use Microservice Extractor to break down a large .NET Framework-based application with hundreds of projects and 10K plus classes into manageable groups based on the portability of code modules at project, namespace, API, or class levels. Customers can extract, port and deploy one group at a time, and the rest of the code in the monolith can use ported code through the network. This iterative modernization approach not only cuts the time in half to transition a large business application from Windows to Linux, but it also helps organizations re-architect application for the cloud at the same time. AWS announces multiple stats query command for Amazon CloudWatch Logs Insights. Amazon CloudWatch Logs is excited to announce the ability for customers to use up to 2 stats commands in a log insights query. By increasing the number of stats commands to 2 in a single query, customers can now use the second stats command to perform aggregations on the results of the first stats operation. For example, customers can aggregate their log traffic over 10-minute intervals using a stats command, and then calculate the maximum traffic across the 10-minute intervals using another stats command in the same query. AWS Integrated Application Test Kit Preview. AWS announces the preview of AWS Integrated Application Test Kit, a new open-source test library that makes it easier for developers to create tests for cloud applications with increased speed and accuracy. With AWS IATK, developers can quickly write tests that exercise their code and its AWS integrations against an environment in the cloud, making it easier to catch mistakes early in the development process. IATK includes utilities to generate test events, validate event delivery and structure in Amazon EventBridge Event Bus, and assertions to validate call flow using AWS X-ray traces. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more and hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.